All right, now we're going to talk about how to add and subtract fractions when they do not have the same denominator. So we're going to look for something called the smallest or the least common denominator. Sometimes you'll see it abbreviated LCD. We're not talking about TVs. So let's say I wanted you to add the fractions 1/3 plus 7/18. All right, so right away, your brain should be going, whoa, I can't do that, or I don't think I can do that. Well, because my denominators are different. And that is correct. You don't want to have different denominators, because then you're talking about different size pieces, right? You want to make sure everything is talking about in the same terms. So what we're going to do is we're going to find between the denominators, 3 and 18, what their smallest shared multiple is. So remember how we found multiples, right? Let's say it's over here. 3 and 18. The multiples of them are, well, 3 times 1 gives you 3. 3 times 2 gives you 6. 3 times 3 gives you 9. 3 times 4 gives you, what, 12. 3 times 5 gives you, or 3 5 times, rather, gives you 15. 3 6 times gives you 18. So you're looking for which multiple is the smallest between 3 and 18. 18 has multiples of 18 once is 18. 18 twice is, 36, I think? So look, the smallest they share is 18, actually. 18 for 3 times 6 and 18 for 18 times 1, right? So what you can say to yourself is, all right, if I change both of these fractions so that they are equivalent equations, or not equivalent, that they have equivalent denominators, I can then add them. So 1/3 must change to something over 18. And so what times 3 is 18? Well, it's times 6. What times 1? Well, what you do to 1 to the bottom, you must also do the top. So 1/3 is going to be, let me slow down. I'm trying to change 3 into 18 so that I can have the same denominator, so that I can add. To do that, I need to find a common multiple between 3 and 18, and that's going to be 18. Then I said to myself, how can I change 3 into 18? Well, I need to multiply 3 by 6. So 3 times 6 gives you 18. 1 times 6, because what you do to the bottom denominator, you must also do the top. 1 times 6 is 6. So now 1/3 is now 6 over 18. And now because I have common denominators, I can now add these two together. Right? They're both the same. Or they're both the same denominator. So now I can add the numerators. And so I can say, what is 6 plus 7? And 6 plus 6 is 12. Plus 1 would be 13 over 18. Then I check to see if I can subtract or reduce these, and I cannot because 13 is a prime number. So my answer is 13/18. Now, let's try to add another thing. Let's do 3/10 plus 4/5. Well, first thing I ask is, are they the same denominator? And we can see that they are not. 10 and 5 are not. But I can change one of these so that they have the smallest common denominator possible, the smallest common multiple. Well, I know that 10 is the multiple of 5 because 5 times 2 gives me 10. When I do the bottom, I must do the top as well. So 4 times 2 is 8. So now 4/5 is 8/10. So my new equation is really 3/10 plus 8/10 because I changed 4/5 to an equivalent fraction that had the same denominator. So I've got the same denominator, which means I can now subtract or add the numerators. 8 plus 3, 8 plus 2 is 10. 10 plus 1 is 11 over 10. And I notice because my numerator is bigger than my denominator, I can divide. So I'm going to divide 11 divided by 10, right? 11 divided by 10. 10 goes into 11 one time. 1 times 10 is 10. 11 minus 10 is 1. This is going to go to the top of the numerator. Then the divisor, the divisor is going to become the denominator. And it's going to be 1 and 1/10. And that's your final answer. 1 whole and 1/10 of the next whole. And that's it. So make sure you make common denominators first, the smallest you can get it. So that's why we call it the least or the smallest common denominator. Then once you have the same denominator, add the numerators. Then if you have an improper fraction,